Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
And I am Anselin Sie, and welcome to Focus on Liberia. This is, of course, the hour of politics. Welcome, and welcome to the broadcast. I have something to talk about briefly. Is a brain-teasing political discussion. Those of you who just joined me, I want to say welcome. And as always, do us that favor and share this broadcast with anybody in your network. It will be interesting. It will be mind-teasing. It will be eyes-opening. They will provoke you. It will open your eyes, wider, and your brain, will expound. I am here to do an analysis, and it will be as brief as possible on options for opposition victory 2023. So those who are in the opposition, those who are supporting opposition candidates, they really want the opposition to win. And that is a beautiful thing for you to have a side and you want that side to win. But what options, what are the strategies that can be put into place for that opposition victory to come to pass? There are others who believe that President Weah is as bad as you can imagine. So it would be better for our country, Liberia, to have somebody from the opposition to become president at the end of next year's election. And for those who believe that President Weah is actually that bad, I agree with them. And that is why they and their political leaders must do the right thing, apply the right strategies, so that which they have said all along that they're going to make President Weah one-term president, for them to bring it to pass. But as I continue to watch, it's like they are out of ideas, and that they're fighting their inability to look at the bigger picture. So in order not to waste your time, what is clear and that we can be sure of if the opposition is to win, the silver bullet is that either the entire opposition put together and go against President Weah, I believe that would be an automatic one-round victory. If the bigger political parties come together in the opposition, that is another possibility for a one-round victory. Now, the good thing about the opposition putting together to go against President Weah, so that we will not have runoff election, it will save a lot of money. Can you imagine that? So we are a poor country. Since 2005, every presidential election got to go to rerun, right? There got to be a runoff. That is so much money. So we're spending twice to just decide the president and vice president. Since 2005, we have to spend twice what it will cost us to elect a president and vice president, twice. So that is one thing they need to take into consideration. But if you come to think about it, the politicians, it is about their ego. It is about what they just want power, and they are only thinking about themselves. They are not taking into consideration what is costing the country. They're not taking into consideration what they're putting poor and ordinary voters through, that they have to go back to the battle box again. These are people After voting, they don't even get anything much anyway. But these people are not thinking about all that. But that is not what I want to talk about. So if the opposition is to win, what are the options the opposition have? First of all, before I come to the options, let's look at who are the opposition candidates that we have. We have Tiawan Gonglo, we have Mr. Elizana Benedict Cummings, we have Mr. Joe Boakai. These three opposition leaders are the ones I will discuss. The rest that you may know, I don't consider them as opposition, candidates to be. No, I don't think so. And it is much more like we will have to settle for the three opposition leaders. If others are even to come, no one will give them any serious attention. So let's talk about them. So we have three major opposition candidates to Cummings, Boakai, and Tiawan. If they were to come together, it's an automatic win for the opposition. Are they ever going to come together, given who we know them to be? It is very much unlikely. Now, when opposition comes together, opposition stands the best chance of winning. I can give you a history around Africa, how opposition came together and was an automatic win. So, President Weah and the CDC, they are so vulnerable. The reason why they have a little lifeline on the briefing is because the opposition is the one destroying itself. So now that we know that we have three opposition candidates, what are the options? If the three put together, that option number one, they can win. Is that possible? That chance is very slim for the three of them to agree, let's come together. Now, can two come together? And let me repeat that. If three of them come together, that's an automatic win. If they come together, other opposition people that may come to the fore, they will even stay away because they know they'll be wasting their time. Because that's Unity Party putting their votes together, alternate to ANC. I forgot about Liberty Party, but they don't have a candidate anyway. So, right? So, but the Liberty Party, the Valley, have supporting Cummings, the other have supporting Boakai. So let's stick with those three, right? So that would mean that Liberty Party, the ANC, the Unity Party, these are the three bigger opposition parties. If they come together, they win. Now, if they are to come together, who should they support for president and vice president? Now, if you go back to the CPP was this belief that, everybody will agree for Boakai to be number one because he served as vice president before. And once Cummings agrees and Boakai agrees, it's an automatic win. That was true. Then we all know what happened. So that possibility has disappeared about 98%. But for the sake of the analysis, let's use it as option number one for the opposition to win, which means that if the two leaders come together to produce a ticket, I know there will be disagreement. Cummings should be number one. Boakai, the idea of Boakai should be number two, it makes no sense to me. It's not logical to me. All right? And that's my thing. But either way it goes, it's an automatic win for them. Can they renegotiate that option? Can they put that option back on the table? If they put that option back on the table, will they win? Yes, they will win. If they put that option back on the table and make it happen, yes, they will win. But this is what's going to happen. The bad bloods will still exist. The downside to that is, so that is a Boakai Cummings ticket equal victory. No question about that, in my opinion. A Cummings Boakai ticket, that is a victory. Now, the downside to that is because of what happened in the CPP, there will be bad blood. Because of what happened in the CPP, it is unlikely for them to reunite. Now, if it will be unlikely for them to reunite, is there a possibility to remove certain things for them to reunite? For it to become very likely for them to unite? Yes. What is that possibility? That possibility is to take Bwaka out of the way. I'm doing political analysis here. I'm not talking like a boy or a girl. I'm talking like a real man with serious mind. So we know Bwaka, his challenge, and I will not go into detail so that others cannot feel disrespected. Bwaka is challenged. He is challenged tremendously. If Bwaka has something for, if Bwaka has anything, that is the sympathy he enjoys and a good number of Liberians who vote for him. Minus that, Bwaka does not have leadership. Bwaka does not have the foresight. Bwaka is the past. We are talking about the future. But if Bwaka is on the ticket with Cummings, there will be a win. So the point I was making, if you remove Bwaka out of the picture and you keep the CPP together, or you bring the CPP together, will you have a better, stronger, and united CPP? Yes. Because if you take Bwaka out of the picture, so the way you made that possible for Unity Party, Liberty Party, and ANC to come together, for it to be peaceful, for it to gain, stronger momentum, for them to even in the long run produce a government that will be free of more conflict, is to remove Bwaka out of the picture. Now, how you remove Bwaka out of the picture, there are a lot of options. First, you tell Bwaka, you gave him reason to retire. Bwaka needs to retire. We saw the recent press conference. It was bad. Even his supporters, his in-laws, they were disappointed. Bwaka need to do the most honorable thing to step aside. I'm not your typical person who don't speak directly. Bwaka is bad news for Liberia, period. And that's just my opinion. So if you remove Bwaka out of the picture, then it will be very unlikely for the CPP to regroup, to reunite, re-engage, re-energize, go and beat WIA. But then if we remove Bwaka out of the way, what's going to happen? If we remove Bwaka out of the way, Unity Party will experience a political rebirth. Unity Party will become a much younger and vibrant political party. Unity Party will be coming up. It will be like a new birth. And because that new birth, they will lower their expectation. They will lower their ambition. Manius Bwaka, they will rather settle for either a second place or not. They will rather want to be able to be factor in that particular coalition. That is what they will opt for. And it will be a good thing for the Unity Party. I know the Unity Party people now, they say what the guys are up to. It will be a good thing because the Unity Party will give ISA a left line for them to put itself together. That will even salvage the corruption history of the Unity Party. That means the likes of Gafwan, Amara Kona, and all those young, bloods will come. And then the older people will go away. And that was what Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wanted anyway. But Bwaka said no to that. That is why Bwaka continues to pay the price. So, to make it short, the CPP can only reunite and become a better collaboration if we take Bwaka out of the picture. If we take Bwaka out of the picture, the energy and the momentum will pick up in the very long run. And it will help them to win. Now, what other option do they have? The other option the opposition has is for a Cummings Tier 1 ticket or a Tier 1 Cummings ticket to go. Now, the Cummings Tier 1 ticket will represent change, will be the ticket of change. It will be an impressive ticket. The narrative will be in their favor. Now, the message that wins election is the message of change. Cummings has not held any government position. Tier 1 has been in government, but he has proven to come clean. He's a decent man. There's no corruption record against him. He's energetic. He's bright. He's strong when it comes to the law. He understands economic issues. He understands the country. They may experience it. All the system in Liberia, Tier 1 understands it. He's a great candidate. If you put he and Cummings together, it will be a tsunami victory. Once because Bwaka is discouraging even Unity Party people. You saw what happened in Lofa County. We can talk about what happened here and there, but that was poor management under the watchful eyes of Joseph Bwaka. Under Joseph Bwaka, they very CPP died a natural death. So Bwaka over and over continued to prove that he is not a leader, and I will not hesitate. Bwaka is not a leader. He's not a political leader. Bwaka is somebody who says, sit down here and say, yes, sir. That's the kind of man he is, period. And the Unity Party people can come for me. We're talking about our country here. We're looking for serious, manner leaders who are aware of their surrounding, who are calculative, who are proactive, who are ready to take steps, who, when they are, giving strategy, will go ahead to implement it. I mean, if you look at Bwaka, everybody around him, look at the kind of judgment he's making. Benny Nayure is his best friend. I mean, come to think about that, man. Benny Nayure is his best friend. So I will leave that. So the Cummings Gonglo ticket would be a sharp contrast from the CDC. So it would be like light and day in the campaign. That means the Liberian people will have an alternative. Two excellent Liberians with great record, no corruption history, who we as a country can be proud of, versus a group of young Liberians who got the blessing of the country in an overwhelming way with a celebrity president, came with the mantra propos, and became thieves overnight and suffering our people. So the contrast would be so sharp that Liberian people don't have to look anywhere else. The message of change will resemble the Cummings Gonglo ticket or the Gonglo's Cummings ticket. That's an automatic win. Now, but a lot of things must happen though. That lot of things must happen. When the Gonglo Cummings ticket or the Cummings Gonglo ticket is put on the table and put into full swing, and you remove Bwaka out of the way by impressing on him to step aside because he said, love Liberia, build Liberia, rescue Liberia. The man could not rescue himself from a recent press conference. He could not rescue himself. Mo Ali have to go and rescue him by answering a question for him. Just as when he came to the U.S., George Lobo have to go to a rescue to answer another question for him. Papa is not ready for prime time. It's time for retirement. We will not mortgage this country in the hands of somebody who does not have capable hands. I will not do it. Folks in the Unity Party who are deceiving themselves and trying to deceive our country in broad day, that the man they know very well, Joseph Bwaka, can make a president that would deliver, is just sad. And so sometimes when I look at them, I say, are these people really serious? This is the best they can do? Really? Unity Party? You want to bring us somebody who was rejected by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? That's the person you want to give a waste product of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. That is the person you bring into us. Are you people just that desperate? Is it about you just occupying political offices? And this is why you think this is all about? Don't we have seditions occupying political offices today? Don't we not see the fruits of it all? And this is the same thing you want to come and do? But hey, the Cummings Gonglo ticket or the Gonglo's coming ticket with Joseph Boakai getting a retirement package and out of the way is a tsunami political victory for the opposition. But the opposition, if they should get that, will do so many things. Number one, they must increase the momentum. How do you increase the momentum? Option number one. So after you shall have secured a Cummings Gonglo ticket or a Gonglo's Cummings ticket, the Gonglo Cummings ticket is like 99% unlikely. The Cummings Gonglo ticket is like maybe 80% likely. The Boakai Cummings ticket is like 99% or 98% unlikely. But if you put it in the vote, they will win. It's just that they will have a bad government. That is the downside to that. So whichever ticket that comes out of the opposition, they must do everything to generate a momentum that will propel that opposition ticket to victory. So how do they generate that momentum? So that they can set CDC in common politically. So that CDC will, before election day, CDC says, you say, it's over for us. We are done. And that is what the opposition will need to do after coming up with a ticket. You don't just want to win. You want to convince sedition that it's over for them before even election day. How do you do that? Because you want to convince the whole country. You want to convince the international community. You want to convince the voters that you got this thing and you're running with it. Let sedition step aside, just as they have their son, Yomu on the roll, sedition coming again. This time, let the son be Yomu on the roll, the opposition coming again. Now, if you are just joining us, I want to say welcome. I'm not an opposition person. I do my little political analysis to put some, some wacky ideas out there that you can put some flesh and, meat around then, and then you can turn it into something. So yeah, let's look at the momentum. How can the opposition then, after deciding a ticket, swell a momentum to prepare it to a tsunami political victory that will put CDC in political coma before that victory is won? Option number one. You must call for a memorial march for the 250,000 Liberians that died during the war. Now you're bringing the war crime code argument back. Don't forget that. You organize a memorial march to remember our brothers and sisters who died from that senseless war. We are all connected to them some way, somehow. The government of Liberia, when the opposition is together and call for any such man, cannot resist it. They will want to, but they can't. And even if they want to do everything to resist it, the opposition will put a foot down. When you shall have succeeded in that memorial march for the 250,000, and during that march, there must be speeches before the people go in the street for that peaceful march to remember our brothers and sisters. Speeches must be made, stories must be told about the carnage and how the perpetrators mindlessly kill our brothers and sisters. Now, what you are doing there is you are awakening the hope that disappear, that there will be accountability. for those who lost their life. You have awakened that hope in thousands of Liberians across the world. You will start to win their trust. You will make the voters to become brave, that the people can fight government. Now, when you embolden the people with bravery, because that is one of the things we all want. Even sedition wanted, but because their political god, President George Weah, say it's not important now, so they don't care about it. They're thinking that they're pretending that they don't care about it, because they only listen to women. They don't challenge him. They don't disagree with him. After that march, CDC will get terrified because you put the people behind you. That's first option number one. Option number two, and I'm talking about a serious opposition. Now, this weakling that we have right now, Waka is weak, Komi is weak. Atintia One is strong, but he wants to be diplomatic. You do not go against a ruling government like CDC and you want to bring diplomatic politics. That diplomatic politics Cummings is on, it's not going to call it anytime soon. You want to win the people on your side by provoking them to anger. Provoke their conscience. Tell them what is important. And that's how you do it. After that march, what do? You call for a memorial rally for the auditors that were killed. Now, the auditors died or were killed at the hands of the ruling government. You bring the issue of justice and safety and security to the table. Liberians are in fear in Liberia. You remind Liberians that it does not make sense for one Liberian to be killed or die under mysterious circumstance, and we sit here and we think we have a government. And that honor our government, the life of every Liberian will matter. And that if any such happens, there will be an investigation, and every investigation will come to a conclusion or logical conclusion. What you are doing there is you are increasing the hope and trust of the Liberian people who don't trust the government because the government cannot protect its citizens. That's what you will be doing. Now, after that rally to remember the auditors that died under mysterious circumstances, you shame the CDC government by doing that. Next thing you're going to do is to organize a rally and call it "Where Are the Three Missing Boys" rally. You organize a rally as an opposition and you call it the Three Missing Boys rally. Fellow Liberians, hear me and hear me well. 3 of our young brothers got missing in that Monrovia. We have not seen them today. That is the end of the story. Come to think about it. 3 persons gone missing. I mean, not in any butchers anywhere. Our understanding is that they were sent by St. Moses. St. Moses is a free man in Liberia. He runs his business, and the government sits right there. And you think that is something for us as a people to just allow and sit by? The family of those boys went to St. Moses Business Center, the funeral. They protested. No one heard their cries. That is a shame. That is painful. That the government that is responsible to protect life and property, a businessman in the near of St. Moses dispatched 3 boys. Those people, children gone missing. The mothers cry. The fathers cry. They went to St. Moses many times. And our government have no answers for them up to this point. If the opposition call for a rally. Name it, where are our 3 missing boys rally? It's an emotional issue. You prick people emotion. You tell them that life is important, that the responsibility of a government is to protect life. By doing that, you are telling the voters, the Liberian people, that you are better than them, that you care about people's life. Now, you don't stop there. The next thing you do, you organize another rally. Look, the way you win CDC and make CDC unpopular right now, that rallies, that protests, some of these rallies, you can have it at ATS, speeches being made. That's how you do it. But this thing they're doing, Cummings, where you give one little speech here and there. As for Bwaka, we can't even hear him well when he gave his speech. I mean, that's the kind of man going to fight these young people in the CDC. Bwaka going to fight them. This is Bwaka right here on Baya in Lofa County. They drew finger in his eyes. They gave him government for him. And as serious as that matter was, he was giving a speech, we couldn't hear him. And he couldn't answer question. Somebody have to come in and help him. This is the man, our brothers and sisters in the Unity Party that I know. Amen. How can you people be so disingenuous in this manner? Seriously? This is the best you can do for us? Unity Party? You bring Mr. Bwaka, who is in his retirement? Look at the speech the man gave. What does it tell you? This man is tired. Unity Party need to do us a favor here. The people of Liberia were so gracious to the Unity Party to have given them 2 terms. And the price you want to pay us after carrying on massive corruption and cheating us of development is to bring back somebody who is a weakling when it comes to national leadership. Unity Party, you need to stop this. Help us here. Come together and tell Joseph Bwaka to take a retirement. Resuscitate your party. Bring young people to the fold. Can you do that? That would be a smart thing to do. But that thing you're on right now is complete. I don't want to say that. So then you call another rally. This time you call it Shimi and Nimi Corrupt Leaders Rally. So the goal of the rally is to call out the government officials that were indicted by LACC, the government arm. Some of them indicted in other reports. Some of them caught loose by the very CDC. The reports are there. The other reports are there. The indictment from LACC, they are there. So you use the government own record that indicted their own officials and they will not take action, and you name and shame them. So you call it the Nimi and Shimi Corrupt Officials Rally. So at that rally, all these corruption cases must be recounted. And the Liberian people should be reminded about the impact of these corrupt behaviors causing our people. That is how you do it. For that rally, you don't have to get in the street. You can do it at ATS. Just mobilize your people, let them assemble. If CDC see the population or the crowd at ATS, they say, damn, we finish. You want to put fear in your opponent politically. You want to show them strength with your numbers. Then they will be intimidated. They will not even want to cheat. But there's a CDC that saw Unity Party in Lofa County as a weakling because the opposition got divided. So CDC saw the loophole and they did their thing. So that is how you do it. At that rally, that shimmy and nimi corrupt officials rally, you call all of them out who are being indicted by all the reports from LACC, you call them out. The corruption we just heard about APRC, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture. You forget about the Ministry of Agriculture recent corruption thing against the darling minister. We're talking millions here. APRC, we're talking about 1.4 million gallons. 1.5 million gallons of diesel fuel disappear, poops, worth several millions of dollars. Can you imagine that? I have memory of all the reported corruption cases in the government, and they have done nothing. You call that rally. Don't go confront the CDC. Do your rally at SKD or ATS. Name them and shame them. That is the right thing to do. These people are getting paid. Shouldn't be stealing the country money. That is how you do it. Then after that rally, you organize another rally, but this time around you start going to the counties. You go to Grand Bassa County. You organize a rally in Grand Bassa County and you name it in honor of the late Councilor Charles Walker Bronsky rally for free and fair election. That's how you call it. Councilor Charles Walker Bronsky rally for free and fair election. The strategy there is the Bassa people, though Bronsky is dead and gone, they still remember and love him. They miss him. He was one of their prominent sons. They felt that at some point he was going to become president. They miss it. They wanted to share that pride. It didn't happen. He's dead and gone. By remembering him for his advocacy for free and fair election in Grand Bassa County, the opposition put the entire Bassa people behind it. And then you remind them that this election is coming, that Charles Walker Bronsky was about people participating in the democratic process, and that the Bassa people need to vote for the change that they want. That is what, or that was what Charles Walker Bronsky wanted. You put the Bassa people behind you. Strategies. Do we have the kind of opposition leaders that are thinking in this manner? No, they are all weakling. Even you give them these ideas, they will be looking around, they don't know what to do. You gave these kind of ideas to Bwaka. Can he even implement one? The man does not even have money to sponsor a candidate in his own country. No money. So after these rallies, the opposition momentum will swell significantly. CDC will go on the ground. All that noise they're making about, oh, this project, this road, that, they will be afraid. They will not even have the courage to tell you about road because you have taken the narrative. You have the people behind you. The people don't want to hear about anything called market. Winning election as strategy. You win the heart and minds of the people. You provoke the people consciousness. You provoke them to anger. You tell them what is important. And you bring them on your side. You show empathy. And you tell them that this government is bad. They don't care about the death of auditors. They don't care about the missing boss. They are stealing. There's corruption all over the place. They're not doing anything about it. They are responsible for your suffering. In that time, when gas and fuel prices are high in the roof all around the world, 1.5 million gallons of diesel fuel disappear. No serious investigation. That thing that happened there at APRC is a syndicate. It's huge. A serious president will launch a serious investigation. But anytime they call for investigation, the investigation itself is the end of the story. Nothing comes out of it. So after you should have gained the momentum with this rally, then you are ahead of CDC. Then you try to face them now. You try to put the last nail in the coffin. What do? You start making demands. Now you have shown your strength. Your strength is actually the people behind you. Just as the CPP was strong when the Liberian people were behind the CPP. In Monrovia, we saw the massive victory the CPP got with DeLong because the CPP had the people behind them. So these are the rallies that you will carry on. The people don't trust the opposition right now. They see the opposition are weak. They're not prepared to engage the CDC politically. It's not that the people are happy with the CDC. Somebody who are buying a cup of red $25 Ellington and buying the $75, then you think that person is happy with Joshua and the CDC? No. But they don't see anybody to amplify that pain and stand for them and fight for them. They don't see anybody in the opposition. They are giving men speeches. You say you want to make president. We are a one-term president. With your weak speeches, all the opposition leaders, they are not inspiring. Look, you are an opposition leader. You're giving speech. Your speech cannot even inspire your own members. I'll be tough on Bwaka today. As for Bwaka, his speech is even putting people to sleep. Mr. Cummings, Alexander Cummings, in some instances, it's like he's even counting his words. When you want to be a political leader, if you don't have it, learn it. Learn how to be an inspirational speaker. You don't have to yell at me. Even by breaking your tone low and making your voice deep and allowing the pain and the sorrow associated with the situation you are explaining to drive your voice. You capture the people and you bring them to your side and you move with them politically. Giving speech, you counting words. Bwaka giving speech, you falling apart. The only person who does better among all of them is Tiawon Gonglo. It's just that Tiawon Gonglo has now gained a little more of a national political recognition. That's why but Tiawon Gonglo can be a little more inspiring. His speeches are touching. He's yet to get many people's attention. That's how I see it. So if these opposition people want to win, we're giving them free tutorial here. Free tutorial. And that's why I continue to tell the people, I don't want anything from any political leader. This is my country. We're trying to share ideas. How do we make it better? It is not a hate for our brothers and sisters in the CDC. It's not any hate for President. We are our people chosen. We all congratulate him. He's one of our best sons when it comes to sports. He made our country proud. So we have given him this chance to be able to serve our people for the blessing he's been given. The guy is just enjoying himself. So these opposition folks who are saying they're going to make we are one-term president. Is that how you make somebody one-term president? By giving cold speeches, weak speeches, reading speech and counting words. You don't inspire the people. And you think that how you do it? You don't take the fight to the CDC through rallies and memorials and protests. You think you're going to win. So here are the demands the opposition must embark on immediately after deciding a ticket. Number one, at the National Election Commission, there where you start, your first demand should be that Flor Sayanga, that guy was indicted by the Election Commission itself that this man is an electoral fraudster. Folks, are you really listening to me here? Election Commission investigated one of its employees in the name of Flor Sayanga and found him guilty at that very Election Commission that he is an electoral fraudster. But the man is still there. Guess what? Komi knows. Bwaka knows. Even Gonglo knows. And this man is still there. Bwaka and the Unity Party have been aware of this guy, and they went to election in Lofa County. And they were expecting that they were going to hit the Powerball. Folks, are you hearing me here? Hear me out here. Are these political leaders really ready for prime time? An electoral fraudster who is known for manipulating election numbers. No wonder why the tally sheet numbers, the numbers on their own website were just all over the place. It's obvious those guys were up to something. Unity Party went into election knowing that this guy is over there. The CPP too went to election when they know that this guy is over there. So, to those of you who are political leaders, fanatics, who come after people like us trying to open your eyes to see better for our country, let me ask you, what have you ever asked your leaders whether they are aware that fraudster is at the election commission? Have you asked them why they are not doing something about it? You think that they have cold water speeches they're making with that guy to leave from there? You organize a protest and demand that that man be removed from that place. And that when that guy is not removed from that place, the protest will continue. You people are joking in that country. Let me give you news. Red Nesdo, Conakry, the guy who is the acting president now, who is the president, is a military junta. He's a military man who just overthrew Alpha Condé, the president. In Guinea, they just protested. They had arrested some opposition people. Guinea protested for about 2 days against a military leader. The protest led to the release of those people who were arrested. We Liberians, let me tell you what Obama said. That if you want a better future, you have to fight for it. You want a better country? You have to fight for it. So these political leaders, by the time we criticize them, you come after us with your noise. To the folks in the ANC, ask Cummings whether he is not aware that that guy is at the National Election Commission. To the Bwaka people, ask Bwaka whether or not he is not aware that that guy is at the Election Commission. So let me leave that guy. Maybe he's insignificant. What's about the boss of the National Election Commission, David Eto Brown Lassana? The woman was indicted by the Joshua government through the LACC. The LACC indicted her. Money laundering, conflict of interest, violation of the act creating the LACC, violation of the act creating the PPCC. An indicted individual is the head of Liberia's National Election Commission. These opposition leaders you respect so much, you see at gods, and they won't win election. CDC got dirt on that woman. They are using remote control to control her. She doesn't want to go to jail. She doesn't want to lose her job. So whatever CDC tells her she will do, here are your political leaders you love so much. Whether they even want to win election, I'm not even sure they really want to win the election. They're sitting on the fence, passing around, and they say they are opposition leaders. David Eto Brown Lassana, the opposition should demand that that woman should resign, or they should demand that she be fired. And after giving an ultimatum of maybe a week, you call your supporters out and go to that election commission. If that woman not step aside, you're not leaving the street. But Liberian people, they will not do it. You know why the people will not come out? Because they don't trust you. Talking to you, the leaders. They don't trust you. You don't stand for anything. You don't fight for them. All you want is they must worship you. They must go to the party headquarters and sing Zekwe Zekwe. You don't put your foot down. You don't risk your life for them. So when you call them, they will not come. So folks, David Ethel Brown Lasana should not be at that place. She was indicted. The opposition should demand that that woman be removed from that place. How is that difficult? And these leaders don't see it. Waka does not know about that. Cummings does not know about that. Tiawon Gonglo too, you do not know about that. You, the lawyer, you can't file a lawsuit for that woman to be taken out of that place. And you expect that woman, you will win election, she will give it to you. Anyway, I'm talking plenty here. David Ethel Brown Lasana, the opposition should demand, should be removed. Flossion should be removed. And that if those two individuals are not removed, they will have a protest and they will not leave the street until those people are removed. And that if those people remain there, there will be no election in Liberia. And when there's no election, President Weah is taking the exit. He's no longer president. Call yourself opposition people. You're acting like boys. You're not ready yet. The next demand the opposition will come up with is that the voter roll be clean. The voter roll should be clean. The voter roll is being duplicated. We don't know how many persons who are registered voters in Liberia. According to our election expert, there are two voter rolls. There's an electronic version and then there's a manual version. No one knows which is which. The opposition, Waka knows, Cummings knows, they participated in the last election. That election went to court. The Supreme Court ruled that the voter roll should be clean. Cummings going to election all the time without that corrupt voter roll. Waka going to election all the time without corrupt voter. What is wrong with these people? You know, those of you who are in these political parties, I don't know how you people are doing it. Let me ask, how are you people really doing it? Are you ready in this political party because of Liberia or what? Or you just waiting so that they will give you small joy and then you two will come and steal, right? Seriously? The voter roll that decide who wins is not correct. Your political leader wants to win. Only the government of Liberia has and knows the voter roll. Your political leaders don't even have a copy. There you go. Seriously? How do I make the thing simple for them? How do I make the thing simple for them them to understand? The voter roll, each political party should have unique knowledge. The one the government has here, the National Election Commission has here possession, it won't be identical to what your political party has in its possession. Before you go into election, it should be square that we are on the same page. Here are the numbers. But your political leaders, they don't know the voter roll. They don't know. They don't even have a copy. They don't even know how many percent on it. And you think your political leaders are ready and they won't win elections. So I urge them, free tutorial for them. They should demand that the voter roll be clean, the voter roll be public, and every political party should have a copy, and we should all know the exact number of persons on that voter roll before you can go into any election. Is that a difficult thing? Another thing, the opposition should demand that the lawmakers be audited. These lawmakers that are passing all these budgets around here, you audit them. The political parties should demand, maybe that one will be a difficult one because they get a minute in there too. The opposition should demand that the legislature be audited. They just passed an unrealistic budget of 780 something million. In no time, they're recasting the budget and carrying it to 806 million. Folks, the legislature has not been audited for the past, if I'm not mistaken, about 20 years now. The legislature has not been audited. If the opposition calls for an audit of the legislature, the opposition will be showing that they care about accountability, thereby putting the people. If there's any group of people, any institution that the people of Liberia hate the most, that the legislature. So for an opposition ticket that is decided, let's say it is the Cummins Bwaka ticket, or let's say it is the Cummins Gonglo ticket, or let's say it is a Gonglo Cummins ticket, that made all the demands and the rallies that I talked about earlier. You bring the people in your fold more and more. And one thing, the last thing I will suggest, that opposition ticket should demand is the publication of all declared assets. What am I talking about? Joshua declared his assets. They must demand that President we will make assets public. That law they had in Beyonce, the law say you should demand it. No, this is a political contest. This is a political fight. If President Weah is not steady, why is he hiding his asset? If he's a man of transparency, why is he hiding his asset? So the opposition should demand that all assets declared by government officials, they should publish their asset. Tiawon Gonglo is on record on this one, that if he is blessed, or before even he contests the election, he will declare his asset, he will make it public. He will not allow Joshua. My brother Joshua declared his assets in violation of asset declaration. He declared late. The law says you must declare before you take it. Joshua declared very late. So he violated the law. Then he turned around, he refused to show it to the Liberian people that voted for him. He hiding his asset from sedition. He said he got children to protect. The last time I checked, 2005, he had children to protect. He make it published. 2011, he declared he make it published. 2014, he declared he make it published. All those years he had children. But when he became president at that time, he realized that his children more important than he can. Folks, are you listening to the folk in the CDC? Georgia had the 80 million. So what the man had, and we all know the man had 80 million, man. So pull it in and let's see the 80 million. Folks, the opposition must demand, starting with the president, that the asset he declared should be made public. And it shouldn't start with him. All the lawmakers, they needed to declare. I'm not sure. I think I saw Dillon declare his asset, right? And besides Dillon, I don't know if any other lawmaker declare his asset or his asset. None of them. They should all declare their asset. They should make it public. The ministers, and according to the law, if I'm not mistaken, before you take seat as an official, you must declare your asset. After every, I think, 4 years, you must declare your asset again. If you are changing position from this ministry to the other ministry, you must declare. And all of the assets declared by the must Samuel 12 assets be declared and be published. Nathaniel Maggie. This is how you show these people that they don't mean well for the people. And when the people see their true colors, they will support the opposition. That is how you win an election in a tsunami landslide. Folks, I will stop this far. I plan not to stay long, but I took too long. I'm learning how to cut this thing short. Make it brief in 30 minutes and just give you the analysis and just walk away. Because sometimes when you talk much, it's like you're wasting your time. Because our political leaders, when you make suggestions, it's like you're wasting water on their spark. And the worst among them are their supporters. Free analysis, strategies for these people. But the next thing you're going to say, but who is that guy? He can't even speak English well. He's the one who will tell us what to do. I'm not running to be president. But we have this thing called Liberia. It's our country. They are the one telling us Joshua is bad. I agree with them 100%. Joshua is just bad. I mean, it's not a leader. The man just in that presidency just to enjoy himself. And that's why he's good at it. Liberia is 100 years behind. 100 years behind. We don't need a president who will come and play. We all can dance, but when the issues are serious, you have to be serious as a leader. We can't be celebrating low life, nothing, just because we have not seen something as a country. So we should just settle for just about anything. If the little things that we settle for and celebrate, that's why we're not even making progress, because we are not bold in our thinking. Charles Taylor King will lecture said, "Think big." He too became a thief and a murderer. He was telling us to think big. Ellen Kim, she said, corruption, enemy number one. She didn't win the fight. She called it vampire and she left us. Judy Brown, they say he was a businessman. The businessman turned to a role. Joshua was the 80 million man, the son from Gibraltar. World love. Joshua's blessing is unbelievable. The brother is blessed. He has no reason to be doing all this, but yeah, he is. Not even taking action on serious governance matter. Right now, they say they're going for retreat. They had retreated all the time at ATS. The CDC USA people traveled to Liberia. My big brother Ava Tuba was among them. The retreat even did not end as if Tuba came back because it was just a charade. There's a gentleman that's supporting Mr. Bwaka now. They call him Vanin Saki. He was with the Coalition for Democratic Change. He too went to that retreat. I think for him, he stayed long. It was a charade. CDC does not need retreat. CDC does not need retreat. All CDC needs to do is to live its own mantra. Propo. Live that mantra. It's a good mantra, but you don't even know what it means. A propo president budget is more than the budget for MCSS. A propo president budget is more than the budget for whole county. I mean, a propo president, his stationary budget is more than the money they put in the budget for whole county. The propo president wife, her budget is more than the budget for Redemption Hospital. Those of you in Necru town and preaching the crew in Joya crewmen so will die for him. Joya wife budget is more than the money Joya gave for Redemption Hospital that taking care of our people. So folks, if only the CDC can just live their proper life and that their budget is proper, their lifestyle is proper, their behavior is proper, the way they spend their money is proper, nobody will easily be CDC. But Joshua Bay himself condominiums, I think 2 stories, he building huts for our people. And Edwin Snow will put a picture on Facebook that the people of Bombay will reciprocate. I don't want to be long. I thought to, as much as possible, speak on this soberly. But I must conclude, though, that our leaders really need to get it. They don't get it right now. They don't get it. They do not get it. If you are opposition, you got to fight the government too and there. They're not ready. They are not ready. They are joking. I will stop this far and I will say thank you for watching this edition of the Hour of Politics. It is doable. The opposition can win. The CDC is just vulnerable. The opposition just have to use these strategies at early. First, decide its ticket. If Bwaka and Cummings can get together, get Bwaka out of the way. Let Cummings and Gonglo come to the fore. You beat we are landslide. Landslide after using this strategy. Landslide. The man will even run away on election day and go find someone. But hey, My name is Anthony Shade. I brought you teasing analysis to provoke your conscience, for you to look at your political leaders for who they are. They are boys. They are not men. They're not thinking. They are not bold. And some of you continue to cheer for them. I cheer for people who are not fighting. I think politics are Nanfo. Y'all keep playing Nanfo. George, we had Jew finger in Bwaka crying. He crying at Unity Party headquarters. It was so bad that the press conference took 5 hours for them to come to the microphone. But I have to go now. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. Enjoy the song, We Are All Liberians. I thought to do this to get you thinking and looking yourself in the mirror and see your political leaders in the mirror. Enjoy the song, We Are All Liberians. And I'm Liberian too, even though I talk tough like this about your political leaders. It's because I want a better Liberia for all of us. The song, We Are All Liberians, is taking us home right now. Bye-bye, folks.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home. Liberian people. Liberia.